Jake Paul says people only get nominated for Streamies by sleeping with the judges. Charli D'Amelio gets trolled via Spotify playlists. Alrighty then. And Trisha Paytas says she hates James Charles and that he should be humble in her latest 5-part TikTok tirade. I'm Benedict Townsend and this is YouTuber News Quick Bites, brought to you by PopBuzz, the only website with its own family YouTube channel. Isn't that right, Tavin? Tavin, my son. Tavin? Oh no, that's not Tavin, that's the lifelike doll of Tavin that we sell in our store. Just kidding, YouTubers would never be weird enough to do that.
14 months ago.
The Ingham family are selling a doll of their 4-month-old son, Jace. That seems perfectly normal. Our first spooky story. I probably should have preempted this with some kind of Halloween joke at the beginning, but pumpkins. Jake Paul has claimed on Instagram stories that influencers only get nominated for Streamy Awards because, quote, a lot of people's PR teams have been sleeping with the owners of the Streamy Awards to get them nominated. That's true, the Streamy family, the long line of ancestors who've been holding the Streamies for decades, must be getting a lot of action. Jake goes on to say, quote, I just wanted to get this off my chest. I didn't get nominated for the Streamy Awards and it just hurts because I've given so much and sacrificed so much for the creator community. And it just doesn't seem fair because all these people are getting nominated without me. And then I just have to remind myself that no one watches the f***ing Streamies. It's like that meme that like, oh no, the worst person you know just made a great point. And like we always say, the best way to show you don't care about something and are definitely not bitter about it is to imply over 200 people's PR teams slept their way into being nominated for an award you haven't been nominated for and then going off on one about it on Instagram for 3 minutes straight. No one has ever cared about anything less. Our second story, Charli D'Amelio has been targeted by probably the lamest trolls of all time. Now, Charli is no stranger to getting her social media accounts hacked, having previously had her Visco infiltrated and her Instagram account briefly deleted, but this time the hackers managed the dire and dastardly deed of hacking into Charli's, drumroll, wait for it, Spotify account. Charli tweeted on Sunday night saying, quote, why did someone hack my Spotify? To which fans replied with screenshots of the new playlist that had appeared attributed to her account. The new playlists were named, this is capital letters, Hacked, Lamau, and I Love Bryce Hall, and Addison Rae is the best. I think we know who did it then. Addison Rae and Bryce Hall. It's like Scooby-Doo, you gotta take off the mask. Bryce Hall? He's just there punching every waiter he can see. Now, the new playlists have sadly been deleted, so I guess Charli regained access to her account. But I'm sure you'll all join me in sending hopes and prayers to Charli and her family in this trying time. My God, I hope justice is brought against these criminal 13-year-old hackers. And if Batman is out there, and if he's real, and I think he is, feel free to beat them to a pulp. And finally, no one's favorite YouTuber, Trisha Paytas, has gone on a 5-minute tirade on TikTok about James Charles. The drama all started when Trisha posted a TikTok commenting on the Ace family. Now, in the video, Trisha describes, quote, red flags in the Ace family's content before referencing James Charles, calling him narcissistic and sociopathic. James himself then commented on the video saying, quote, keep my name out of your mouth, you do not know me, resulting in Trisha posting a 5-part tirade about James on her own TikTok. And in these videos, Trisha says James is, quote, arrogant as f*** to think he can tell her not to talk about him because he's a public figure and, quote, makes money from being in drama. She goes on to say things like, you're never humble, you never apologize for you're a cocky little I wish Trisha spoke like that. Listen up, James, you cocky little you filthy mudblood. Trisha, a 32-year-old fully grown adult woman with more problematic actions and behaviors under her belt than almost anyone, then says to James Charles, a 21-year-old teenager, you're old enough, you're an adult, hear it, don't be a little bitch. Now, the more cynical of us might wonder if the reason Trisha, the 32-year-old woman, is doing some online bullying of James, the 21-year-old, might be to do with her allegiance to fellow 30-something Shane Dawson. But anyway, not gonna pull on that thread too much. Now, while 32-year-old Trisha continues trash-talking the almost teen, she goes on to say that James is lucky he's, quote, had some revival with these little TikTok stars, but pretty soon you're gonna be too old and too creepy to be leeching on these teenagers. Yes, that would be a shame, wouldn't it, to be too old to be leeching on youthful stars. Imagine, Trisha, imagine what a world that would be like. She speaks like a Wizard of Oz witch. Can we reread that quote? You've had some fun with these little TikTok stars, but pretty soon you're gonna be too old and too creepy. Now, the irony of all this aside, we also know, as Kourtney Kardashian has proven, by being best friends with 20-year-old TikTok star Addison Rae, that James actually has at least 23 years to go before being considered anywhere near too old and too creepy to hang out with teenagers. Love you, Courtney. That's all for today. Thanks for watching YouTuber News Quick Bites. We'll be back on Friday on YouTube and Saturday on Snapchat with our usual full-fat episode of YouTuber News. But until then, please like and subscribe. Best way to get new episodes of the show. And as always, stay Halloween. Is that the phrase?